Alright, just a quick side note before you watch this video. I started during the recording after I'd already taken everything off. So I kind of did the installation in reverse to kind of show you how it goes in. So if you need help taking off like the brace and the parts to get to spark plug number 4, just fast forward the video all the way to 8 minutes and 50 seconds. And it just shows you how to put everything back. Just kind of follow it in reverse and you should be good. Otherwise, 1 through 3, you don't really have to take anything off. It's just super easy to get to. All right, that's it. Enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. All right, so this is the F36, the 2016 428i Gran Coupe or Gran Coupe. I'm talking very quiet because I'm actually working on the car right now. And the HOA does not like when we work on cars outside, so I'm trying to be secret. But anyway, I'm changing the spark plugs and the coil packs because the car got a drivetrain malfunction while I was driving. Turned it off, went away, and then like the next week it came back. So I'm changing out all the spark plugs, all the coil packs. As you can see, I've already taken off everything. If you need a DIY on how to do this, I'll actually try to film it in reverse, the way that I take it off. That should be helpful for someone, but otherwise it wasn't too hard. It's pretty easy. Took me maybe half an hour to get everything off, and so and that's because I'm outside, like trying to be quiet or whatever. But yeah, hopefully this solves this issue because I just got this car, and the worst thing is to buy a car and it has issues already. So I'm gonna try to get those done, and then I haven't really done like a real intro video yet for this car, but I will do one soon. We'll try to get like a cinematic or something. But yeah. All right, so the first thing you're gonna do is remove this engine cover here. There's just a tab on each side. There's one on the bottom here, there's one there, there's one on that side. Once you do that, you can just slide it out of the way. And then this is just a thing to make the engine more quiet. All you have to do is just lift it up and just pull it out. Spark plugs are here. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 in the back. We've already done number 4. So what we're gonna do is do 1 through 3. All you have to do, lift this tab here, and it automatically pushes this little plug out. And then you're just gonna lift this out. And then we're gonna use the tool to get the spark plug out. All right, so what you need to get the actual spark plug out, we need a ratchet with an extension on it. All right, and then for the bit, it's gonna be a 14 millimeter, and it has like 13, I think it's like 13 points in there. This is the slim one. You have to get the slim or it's not gonna work. All right, so once you pull it out, you're just gonna put the spark plug in there. Put the socket in there so it's locked on there, and then we're gonna go ahead and pull it out. Now usually I'll use like a breaker bar or something, but I'm just gonna do it with this, and we'll see if we can get it out. All right, so I put one more extension on so I can make it a little longer. Once you have it loose, I just like to hand thread it out, and then I'm also gonna hand thread it in as well. So we've got the spark plug out. We're gonna put the new one in. That looks pretty bad. All right, so the spark plugs I'm using are these NGK Laser Iridium. This is the number here. I'll put a link in the description. This is how it looks when you take it out. This side's gonna go down, This side's gonna go up into the boot. So I'm also changing, sorry, I meant the boot, but the coils. I'm also changing the coils as well, but they won't be here until Friday. So for now, we're just changing the plugs, and then we'll open it again and do the coils, which will take like less than a minute. But these are usually pre-gapped. I've been using NGK for my Honda, for the last BMW, and they're usually pre-gapped, so I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna go ahead and put them in. So we've got the new plug into the socket. So we're just gonna put it in, and then we're actually gonna just thread this by hand. We're gonna thread it until it is tight, and then we're gonna use the torque wrench to put it to the right specs. All right, so that proves pretty tight, so that's good. I'm actually just gonna take the other three out, and then I'll torque them all at the same time. But that's it. All right, so in order to torque these spark plugs to spec, you have to use a torque wrench. To be honest, before this job, I had never used a torque wrench before. So I'm gonna tell you how it works, just in case it's your first time. So on this side, you see where it says foot-pounds. So for these spark plugs, they're supposed to be at 17 pounds, right? So you can see all the numbers here. You see there's no number 17, but there's a 15. So the 15 here is where you would put the knob, and then you would put the 2 by the middle line. So that would equal your extra 2 that you need. So 15, 16, 17. If you had that 3 by the long middle line, it would be 18. Okay, so you just move this knob up to where you need it, to the 15. You lock it in position, and then you move it to the number 2, so that's 17 foot-pounds right there. On the other side, it shows you the Newton meters. So, but I just use the pounds because that's what, it's easier to determine that way. So 15, 16, 17 is what you need. Basically, I can't hold this camera while I do it, but you're basically gonna put this on the spark plug, and then you're gonna torque it until you hear the sound. Once you hear the sound, you just stop, and it's done. Usually before this, I've had this for a while, but I always just put the spark plugs in and just use the regular socket, and I'll give it like a quarter of a turn, and then that's usually good enough for me, and I've never had a problem with that. But I'm using this time just so I can, get used to using a torque wrench. All right, so we're gonna do that, and then we're all done. All right, so we are done with all of the plugs. We're gonna put the coils back in. Just make sure you put the coils back in the way that you got them. Mines are marked with numbers on them, so I know which ones they came out of. Although I didn't do these are actually, I think these are from AutoZone. I am switching them to a different one when they get here. But this process is easy. You just put them back in, you just push it down, and then once you put this one in here, it should just automatically close. So we're going to do that. Snap it down. All good. We got number 2. Number 2 plug is on this side, so just make sure that you just put it on the right side so that you can actually close it. All right, that's in. And then we're gonna put this back in. Lock it down. Those are good. And then last one. And then that one has to be on that side. This job is super easy. Harder to do with one hand though. The bolt on this bar is an E18. Okay, focus here. There we go, E18. So there's 4 again, there's 1. There's a 2 in the middle. You have to remove the circle things on top to get to those. And then the one that's on that side. The ones that are here, the 4, these are just 10 millimeters. So 2 on this side. I'm sorry, 2 on that side, and then there's 1 down here, and then just 1 on the other side. So 10 millimeter, and then E18 for the cross brace. All right, so once you have this bar off, the last bolts are just these 2 here. And then these 2 here. I've already got the bar off and all the bolts out, which is just 4 bolts. So 1, there's 2 in the middle, and then there's 1 on this side. All right, so take that bar off, and then the only thing I have left is just those 4 bolts, and then you're good to access number 4, which is down there. So that's 4, 3, 2, and then 1. All right, so next you've got these things here. These literally just pop up here. There's no bolts or anything on them, they're just connected. So it's hard to do with a camera in my hand, but use 2 hands and you can just pull them off. Just lift up and slide them out. I'm putting them back in because I'm done, but just lift up and slide them out. There's 1 on this side and then 1 on that side. All right, so the last thing left is just this rubber piece that goes across here. When you're putting it back, just make sure that you get this little wire inside of the rubber piece where it belongs, all the way around. These are a little interesting to put back. I couldn't put that side in the little slot, but just make sure on both sides there's actually a little, like a long part that goes in there. So just lock it in there. On the other side, lock the other one in. As long as you do that, I mean, it's pretty sturdy, it's fine. All right, so once you've got the rubber piece back in, the only thing left is to tuck this wire in. Just tuck it into the slot all the way around. Make sure everything is buttoned up properly, and you are good to go. I'm just gonna put this little sound dampening thing back on, and then the engine cover. Make sure the circle part is at the front. There's a little thing there so you can know where it guides in. And then this. We just slide it in there so it lines up. All right, so that's, I feel like one part's not in, but not sure. I think we're good. I gotta take it off in a few days anyway, so it really doesn't matter at this point. But that's it, guys. All done. Thanks for watching. Any questions, drop a comment. Yeah, that's it.